Whew. News is that the hole for FTX was much more than $1 billion, around $3 billion. Good luck. See, Liam Neeson is the most hated man in Albania. I'm the most hated man in America, which unfortunately I think I'm losing that title to Elon Musk. It's confirmed as far as we know that Binance has a letter of intent to acquire FTX. And we don't know what they'll do. I presume that they'll put it under. Yeah, it's very telling that FTX was going to buy Voyager. So the question is FTX, did they spend the cash to do that? Or are they insolvent even without the Voyager bailout? Good market to be in if you could hypothetically be trading the Voyager debt in bankruptcy court and things like that. This paper money that's been erected on just sort of hopes and dreams is not good collateral, right? I think that's the lesson that we're all learning, is that it's very susceptible to runs, rapid sort of runs on the bank. That it's not hard for there to be a crisis of confidence when the asset that you're talking about is simply created from thin air. So how did FTX get that loan? And or the loans in Alameda, the loans that Alameda and FTX got, who are their counterparties? Are they banks? Are they hedge funds? Are they sovereign wealth? We know their equity holders are probably wiped out. My guess is, there are going to be some markdowns in the hedge fund world. The non-binding LOI, I agree, is very sketchy. If you're CZ, I don't think you would take any deal other than a complete giving up. So this is just to save the investors. The bigger question now is what's going to happen to Binance? What's their balance sheet? Everybody's been posturing that they're a fortress, right? Everyone's been posturing that they're the most solvent. And you even had FTX with all the chutzpah bailing out other folks when they are now, in fact, in need of a bailout. What was it, just a few months ago that they bailed out all the other crypto companies? What kind of management is that? How much can you misunderstand your own balance sheet to think that you're in the position to bail out Voyager or these other entities, and then just months later, you need a bailout? I can't understand that. Is it a lender that decided to pull their money when they realized their balance sheet wasn't where it was supposed to be? It wasn't a change in the market. If you look at the price of Bitcoin and other tokens around the time of the Voyager bailout, they haven't changed much. Sam Bankman's net worth is now zero. Let's be clear about that. There is no Sam Bankman net worth. Who knows what will happen to the Voyager bid? You're right. There's a lot of problems here in crypto world, and I don't think this is bullish. Somebody did mention that this is just a letter of intent, that they by no means have to honor any of these withdrawals. And if you're CZ, why would you? Ultimately, why would you? If you're CZ, do you want exposure to Aptos and SUI and all this other stuff? And why in the world would you want billions of dollars of FTT? That, to me, is the easy trade here, is to short FTT if you can. That's a no-brainer. FTT is not going to survive. And there's no way Binance is going to sit there and say, oh, let's shore up and support FTT. And now you have the problem where the one big American crypto player is gone, and it's now a Chinese company. That's going to be very bearish for crypto, in my opinion. You now basically have converted crypto to, in essence, a Chinese, other than Ethereum, certainly some of the tokens obviously are not Chinese, but the exchanges are now in hands of China, which right now is not a good place to be. It is bullish for Coinbase. I agree with that. If you're a government official, you're looking at crypto and saying, I'm talking about crypto widely, and this matters with the SEC, this matters with the CFTC, this matters in Capitol Hill, you're probably looking at crypto and saying, I was already sort of skeptical, intrigued, interested in this stuff, but now you gotta say, okay, well, do we really want to be doing business with China? And you had Sam Bankman said just the other day, he sort of took a dig at his counterpart CZ at Binance, and he said, oh, I can't wait to see him represent us in Capitol Hill. Wait a second, is he even allowed to go to Capitol Hill? Is he even allowed to come to America? Sort of poking fun at his citizenship and the nature of Chinese sort of the Communist Party in China sort of controlling business leaders there. You can imagine there will not be a lot of greetings for a Chinese crypto company, both Binance US and FTX now under control of in essence, the Chinese Communist Party, as we sort of believe that most businesses in China are under that thumb. So really, really ugly situation. The only country in the world that was sort of the biggest country, one of the very powerful, say, G8 countries that was bullish on crypto at all was the US. China doesn't like the freedom that crypto gives you. Europe doesn't like the carbon footprint. America was willing to sort of entertain this stuff. And you had people like the Winklevoss twins doing an excellent job lobbying, persuading, cajoling, convincing the powers that be that this is worth doing. So now the SEC has another arrow in their quiver. They're going to say, look, the biggest company in America just went bankrupt. Why are we even considering, being useful or helpful to crypto? And I think that's going to be what happens. It's funny because I think FTX was out of Bitcoin anyway, right? So the selling pressure was sort of gone, and that's why one guy started going to buy Solana, because once the big seller's out, what do you do in the stock market? You buy, right? FTX is not going to be the big seller in the long run, right? The big seller could be all the people who want to withdraw and say, you know what, maybe this crypto thing wasn't for me. Maybe FTX going bankrupt is, that's not good. I don't know if that's, So again, the near-term trading dynamic is, there may be a vacuum of sellers, but who's going to sit in there and buy? I mean, in the next, say, few weeks or months. I don't know. Someone's asking about MSI. I mean, I think that there's tokens that are like ROBLOX. Robux, I think, is one of the best tokens ever created. It's a stable coin, basically. And it's used to play ROBLOX. And basically, the entire company is built on getting getting your US dollars converted to Robux, and then in the game, you spend the Robux. Right? There's the same thing with V-Bucks and Fortnite. And these are two very successful tens of billions of dollars companies. So I think the idea of having a token that just represents basically a converted USD. Now those V-Bucks and the Robux, they don't float, right? So they don't trade. But I don't think introducing a floating mechanism really changes a lot. The only thing that it adds is, a bit of speculation as to what the future demand for the service, the underlying service is. Roblox has been cash flow positive. In fact, quite handsomely so. The net income statement is a bit different. The income statement's, got pretty messy, as you can imagine. But the cash flow statement's what's important there, and they make a ton of money. So things have calmed down with FTT trading at 17.5. It looks like a great short to me. So things have calmed down quite a bit on FTT. Take a look at Bitcoin real quick. It's pretty much the same exact chart in a lot of ways. The panic was a beta process. Yeah, so it hasn't quite recovered from some of the drama. I don't know. To me, it's a splendid short. Yeah, I would imagine Binance doesn't want you to short FTT. I would imagine not.